Today, it's not only important that you are able to have good business communication when business is going well, you also need to know how to effectively communicate in a time of crisis. This is not only to show the community that you are handling the crisis, but that you also need to protect your reputation to ensure future business is not affected. In this training segment, we will devise a plan that will improve Smith System Consulting communication during a time of crisis. Smith System Consulting will be able to maintain its trustworthiness as well as develop essential skills necessary to ensure a bright future for you and for Smith Systems Consulting. This training has been brought to you by Smith Systems Consulting. This training will be conducted in order to improve communication within the company. Specifically, we will learn how to handle conflict within the workplace and how to communicate effectively between Smith Systems Consulting and our clients to ensure that we have a smooth communication process from the cradle to the grave. At the end of this training, we will be able to determine communication obstacles, identify opportunities for improvement by performing a needs and task analysis, determine which research methods would best assess the organization's training needs, and explain how to conduct this research, rationalize the need and expense or return on investment for training crisis, delegate an internal and external training facilitator, and justify our choice. Describe how you would assess the training effectiveness by measuring the trainee's knowledge, retention, and application. Predict the short and long-term outcome that this training program will have on Smith Systems Consulting. During this segment, we will discuss the company organization during a crisis management. We will identify the crisis communications team, comprised normally of employees within each department who are duty experts in the field. Because Smith Consulting is comprised of developers, maintenance, database, and support, a representative should be present from each team. Each person will be the spokesperson for that team. The team leader will normally be the CEO or a trusted senior executive. Once your spokesperson or public relations manager has been identified, they will immediately send out a press release or other form of public communication letting the community know that a communication or crisis plan has been implemented, and at this time it is the Smith Systems Consulting's firm's highest priority. As the crisis management team works the process, it will keep the stakeholders informed of any information relevant to them. Because the company is centrally located, time differences should not be a hindrance in coordinating times to have meetings. The priority will be to identify the process of each team, operational and mental. We will analyze mental process to identify underlying influences that may be automatic in nature. Once the process has been analyzed, negotiations will begin to resolve any conflict within the teams. Unassisted will be the primary method unless assistance is necessary. We have gotten a representative from the local Toastmasters to come in and give 3 effective communication classes to the company. We have also met with our hiring managers and gave her an updated list of each department, its requirements, and company profiles of each of our clients so she can hire techs that will be able to relate to each of our needs. This portion has briefly gone over the communication plan that we will implement within the company. Part 2. Assess the company's needs as well as the effectiveness of the training. In order to improve on communication within the company, we must understand what makes the process work. Begin by identifying each department's strengths and weaknesses and objectives within the company individually. Next, look at how they work together. Identify measurable processes in communication with our clients. Use data such as call effectiveness, time spent per call, number of times clients had to call regarding the same issue, and how long did it take the tech to resolve the issue to the customer's satisfaction. Surveys at the end of the call or via email can be a way to determine how satisfied the client was with the service. Time is money. Ensure we do not waste it. The best way to make sure we don't waste money is to provide the best communication possible. Increasing our effectiveness on each phone call will bring a higher trust in the quality of our work and add value to Smith Systems Consulting. Lastly, we need to devise a task analysis. Find out what works, what is a part of the problem. Finding out what works is a part of the problem. Identifying what does work is the other part. The communication breakdown normally happens somewhere in the middle. Once you can correct the first and hone the latter, the company and client will be able to enjoy a pleasurable phone experience. Assess effectiveness of this training by monitoring the performance of selected employees at various times of the workday. Also conduct 30-day performance evaluations for 90 consecutive days. This is how the company will be able to assess the training and the effectiveness of it. Part 3. Predicting long and short-term outcome of this training. The obvious outcome that we here at Smith Systems Consulting hope that this training will have is a successful future for the company. We define success as meeting the needs of our customers, gaining knowledge and confidence in our work and team members, and an increase in profit. Focusing on our short-term goals by meeting all time-sensitive deadlines is also important. Communication is key in meeting these deadlines. We have gone over the organization culture, assessing the needs, and predicting outcomes for the company. Hopefully, by the end of this video, you will have gained insight on how to communicate in a crisis as well as through the crisis. I hope you have learned valuable information that will take you into success.